Hello, welcome. It's Corey. I'm so excited to be back again today. Today I am going to be sharing with you some tools to help you with your money story. So when you are there, jump on, say hello. So this is a topic I love. I've done quite a few workshops and trainings on this. Super important. So if your current money or financial situation is not what you desire it to be, and if you would like it to look different, then this is the training for you. So I'll give you all a minute to get on, say hello, tell me where you're joining in from, and then we'll get started. So one thing to think about to start is to realize if your financial situation is not what you want it to be, what is your financial situation trying to teach you? So if you are in a place where you're kind of struggling to get by or just making it month to month, or you're always wishing you had more, then often your money story, your financial situation is trying to teach you about prosperity, because if you're not experiencing it, that is exactly what you need to learn. And one way you can start to rewrite your money story is to do a little bit of exploration to understand where your relationship to money started and what are your beliefs around money. And usually the best way to do this is to look back at your childhood. So think about any stories you heard about money from both your parents. Even if you only lived with one of them, you might have heard stories from the parent you're living with about the other parent and their money situation, or you might have experienced both of your parents' money stories. But what I want you to do is, because it usually isn't something your parents directly told you, often it's your interpretation of your parents' behavior and your interpretation of your situation. So for example, if you grew up in a single parent household and always noticed there was some tension or stress around money, even though maybe you didn't experience not having things, there was this undercurrent of stress. And so your interpretation could be, there's never enough, and I have to work hard for my money, especially if you had a hardworking parent. So that's one interpretation you could have. And so what I want you to do is to think about, if you heard directly anything from your parents about money, if you heard any conversations around money, even if you weren't involved in the conversation growing up, what your parents' behavior and attitudes towards work and money were. And then I want you to list 2 negative interpretations of each of those philosophies or beliefs or conversations, and 3 positive interpretations. So often we interpret, a lot of our child brain interprets things as survival mode. What do I need to do in order to survive? And so if you saw there was a lot of scarcity or stress around money, then your child brain is like, okay, what I'm noticing is I don't want this, and so what I need to do to survive is to work really hard. I need to do whatever it takes to make money, whatever the story is that you are, again, living out. And again, the story usually isn't yours to begin with. And so when you start to explore where these beliefs come from, then you can start to recognize, 1, they aren't your beliefs, and 2, you can change those beliefs, and 3, you get to choose new beliefs. So you get to be the one to start a new story about money for your family. This is huge. The other thing, there's so many layers around money. I could do days and days on this topic, but the other thing too is to think about where there might be some shame hidden around money. So if you heard any conversations around people that are rich, are corrupt or dirty, or some negative context associated with having money, that could be another way that you're blocking money from coming to you, because there's some shame around having money because you have a belief that having money is bad, or that makes you corrupt or dirty, or there's some negative value around having money. And then the other thing is to think about, there could be some shame around you having money if your family doesn't have money. So being nervous to be the person in the family that makes more money than anyone else, because then you start to stand out. And so there could be some shame around not wanting to stand out, because maybe you weren't felt that it was safe to stand out. You kind of had to hide as a child. So all of these are levels of shame around money. And anytime you are experiencing shame around money, it's going to keep money from coming to you. Hey, Robert, how's it going? So sweet to see you here. Talking about money. So complicated sometimes. So what I was talking about was to start to explore where some of your beliefs around money come from. And most often this comes from our primary caregivers, whether that's your parents or aunts or uncles or grandparents. So what are the thoughts and beliefs they had around money? And even going back to their parents. So if you're, for example, my grandparents grew up in the Depression on my dad's side. On my mom's side, they grew up during World War II. So a lot of scarcity in both of those situations. So of course their children are going to take on feelings of scarcity. And of course those feelings are going to get passed on to their children, which is me. And so when I can start to explore and see, oh, I picked up on this belief from my mom, who picked it up from her parents. I picked up this other belief from my dad, who picked it up from his parents. Then again, I can start to say, this is not my belief. And I choose to believe that I am supported, there is enough money, that money is just energy. It's not positive or negative, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just energy. So you start to let go of any negative interpretations of having money and any negative beliefs around money, and allow yourself to receive money from a place of generosity and knowing that it's coming to you for good and it's leaving you to do good for someone else. What do you think, Robert? Does that make sense? Money, money, money. The other thing too to think about, what is your money trying to teach you? So is it teaching you the power of generosity? Is it teaching you the power of prosperity, of how the more you have, the more you give, the more you have, the more supported you feel, the more you're able to express yourself in your own unique way? Okay, so what I want you to do is to come up with the main core belief around money. So pick, I'm sure there's many, many beliefs around money. Pick the one that's the strongest and see if you can come up with several interpretations of it. So you can think of maybe one or two negative interpretations of the situation, and then think of more. So if you have two negative, think of three positive interpretations. And then how you choose the interpretation that you want to hold on to is to ask yourself, is this belief empowering? Does this belief lead to more life? Does this belief support me in being the best possible version of me? Because often we take on beliefs that keep us small, keep us in a place that is not our fullest expression. And so when you start to have that conversation with yourself, what is this belief demonstrating in my life? And what belief do I want to replace it with in order to demonstrate something different? All right. Those are my fast, quick, and dirty thoughts on changing your money story and changing your relationship to money, because really, money is a relationship. And so that is also another thing to think about, is how do you treat money? Do you treat money like a good friend that you trust, that when they leave, they'll come back, that you don't worry about them abandoning you? Do you treat them with respect? Do you know that they support you? Or do you treat money like a bad friend or a bad ex who you don't trust, who you feel like is going to lie to you, who you feel like is going to abandon you? All of that, even though I'm talking about personal relationships, money is the same. It has the same energy. How we treat money is the same way. It's just energy. So we want to start to treat money like our best friend, someone who's there for us, who's got our back, who's never going to abandon us, who's always going to be coming in and out of our life, and we never have to worry because they're always around when we need them. Okay, do you have any questions? Let me look at my notes. I think that is most of it. You could even write a story to money. You could write about all the negative beliefs or sayings you've heard about money and rewrite them. So money is, instead of money being dirty, money's clean, money is beautiful, money is energetic, money is supportive. Being wealthy is being healthy. Being rich is being prosperous instead of having negative connotations. And then that's another thing to explore. What are your connotations around rich, wealthy, prosperous, millionaire? If you have any negative connotations with that, it's an opportunity to explore where there might be some shame hidden there. And then once you identify the shame around maybe being seen, maybe being visible, think about what's the gift in it. So maybe it protected you when you were a child, and now you realize you no longer need that protection, but you're grateful that it played that role for you when you were younger. All right, so cool. I posted a link to the authentic self-visualization above, which I love this visualization. It really helps you connect to who you are at your core. So once you drop all the garbage, all the limiting beliefs, all the stuff that no longer serves you, and it helps you step into that and visualize that and feel that. So if you'd like a copy of that, grab that. The link is above. If you have questions at all about any of this, please feel free to reach out. And I'll be sharing more on this topic because I love this stuff. And I'll be talking to you all soon. All right, awesome.